So once you have your niche, the next step now, of course, is to choose a domain name. So a domain name is the special address that people will use to access your website. For example, facebook.com. So facebook.com is the domain name of Facebook. Yeah, without that, you cannot access your Facebook. Another example is truehost.com. Truehost.com is a domain name. Yeah, so the word Truehost is a name, then .com now is what you call the domain extension. Yeah, because you can find that there are different domain extensions. Like you can have truehost.co.ke, truehost.co.za, truehost.co.in. So all that, the ending part of the domain is now what you call what? The domain extension. Yeah, there are different types of domains. There is the free ones, and then there is the custom one. The free one is where you get it for free. Yeah, you don't have to pay anything. Yeah, and then the custom one is where you have to pay for it. Now, what's the difference? Of course, the difference is in the money. Like you pay for the other one, you don't pay for the other one. The other difference is that with the custom domain, you can call it whatever you want. Yeah, it looks professional. For example, truehost.com. That's a custom domain. It sounds really nice. If you go to alid.com, you can create a free website there. So once you create a free website there, you get free domain. So your free domain will sound something like truehost.olite.com. Yeah, so .olite.com is now the subdomain, which means your domain, as much as it's free, it's not actually free. Yeah, you're getting it for free because there is .olite.com, which is a subdomain. Subdomain is something. Yeah, you hear, because that's beyond the scope of this course, but you need to understand that. You need to understand this. There is the free and the custom. So for now, the recommended part of it, if you want a blog that will make you money, or that will get respect for you, is you use the custom domain. And to get the custom domain, you need to pay some amount of money. Don't worry, because I'll show you how much in this lesson. Now, when choosing a domain name, there are some things that you need to consider, because I can't tell you enough how many people have come to me and be like, you know what, I hate my domain name, I want to change it. Why do you want to change it? It's because, I don't like how it sounds, or my topics have changed, or whatever the reason, I want to change the domain name. Why? It's because they didn't follow these tips. The first step is that you need to keep your domain name short and memorable. For example, truehost.com, it's really short and it's memorable. It's easy for me to remember what that name was, or what the name of that website that I visited was. The next thing is you need to make it relevant to your niche. A good example also is truehost.com. From it, you can almost immediately tell that that's about a website or a company that deals with hosting, because of the name host in their name. Yeah. Another example is if you're blogging about fashion, you can use something like Fashionista or Style Blog. You get the idea. The other thing is you need to avoid using hyphens or numbers. The reason is, number one, using numbers or hyphens makes your domain look spammy. People hate spam. Yeah, people hate spam. So don't use hyphens. The other thing is it makes it harder for people to remember. So it goes against the first point of keeping your domain name short and memorable. The other thing is you need to check the domain name if it's available. What does this mean? It means that to check if your website name is already taken. There are thousands of websites started every day, and there is high chance that your domain name, the domain name or the website name that you picked, is already taken by someone else. And if that's the case, you cannot register it. You cannot re-register it for yourself. For example, you cannot go and claim, I want to register truehost.com for my website. Why? Because truehost.com is already what? Registered. I want to show you how to get your domain name, how to reserve your domain name, and of course, how to check if it's available. And if it's available, you go ahead and register. So let's do that. The first step to get a domain name, of course, is to search whether it's available. And to do that, just you need to use a domain name registrar, and one of them is truehost.com. So if you're in Kenya, go to truehost.co.ke, to register your domain. If you're in India, go to truehost.co.in. If you're in South Africa, go to truehost.co.za. If you're in Nigeria, truehost.com.ng. And if you are outside any of these countries that I've mentioned, just go to truehost.com to register or to check the availability of your domain. So when you go there, this is the familiar page that you will find. And on top here, you will see there are some menu items. So the first thing you need to do is go to domains and then click on domain search. So what we are essentially doing here is trying to ascertain whether my domain or my preferred domain name or the name that I want to call my website is available. So what I do is now, and of course, if it's available, the next step I need to take is to register it immediately before someone else does what? Before someone else takes it away. So the first thing you need to do is to type the domain name on the, let's say I want to create a website about books. So I've thought of a good name, Book Direction, and I want to check if it's available. And if it's available, I'll go ahead and register. So these are the steps that you need to take. So just type in the name here, Book Direction.com. This is the name and this is the extension. So I can change this to whatever I want, to like .co.ke if I want to target Kenyan audience, or .co.in if I am in India, and of course if for example if I'm in Canada, I can use .co.ca, that's bookdirection.ca if I'm in Canada, and if I'm in Nigeria, I can say book.com.ng if I'm in Nigeria. So for now, let's look at whether the bookdirection.com is available. So once you've typed the name here, just click search, and boom, as you can see, congratulations, the domain name is available. This means that I can register it now. It means no one else has registered it. So it means I can go ahead and register. But what happens if it's already taken? So let's try something like truehost.com and see if it's if we can register it. Say I want to register that. Now, as you can see, truehost.com is unavailable. Why? Because by the way, we are at truehost.com, so it means it can't be available. It can't be available because it's already registered. Yeah, it's already taken by someone else. It's a brand name for someone else. Yeah. So if you encounter that your chosen domain name is already taken, you need to search the next. That's why I was asking you to have a list. You need a list. That's why I was telling you need a list of domain names. Say that in case one is already taken, you go to the next name on the list. So since mine is already registered, I won't waste any time. I'll just go ahead and register. Yeah, as you can see, mine is already available, and here is the price. If you see, it's $7.80 USD. So this is the price of that domain name. If you scroll down here, you can see the popular extensions we've talked about. That .com is an extension. As you can see, I can get .xyz, like bookdirection.xyz, bookdirection.wtf, bookdirection.us, bookdirection.net. So all of that. Also, Truehost suggests you different domain names. So you can go through this list and maybe you can find the one that's even better than this, better than .com. For example, if I want to open a bookshop, I can use this one. I can use this one, bookdirection.shop. Yeah. Also, if I'm talking about tech stuff, I can say bookdirection.tech. And besides every extension, you see the price here. As you can see, this one is $5.99 USD. What I need to do now, since mine is available, I'll just click add to cart, and of course click checkout. Now the next thing you will see here is this step. Yeah, as you can see, here is the domain name that I want to register. Here is the registration period. It means I'll own this domain for 1 year. Yeah, you can change that. So you can change, as you can see, it says here you can change the period in the cart. Yeah. So if you want to register it for 2 years, you can change it into 2 years. If you want to register it, you can own a domain for up to 10 years actually. So you can change it to 10 years. Yeah. Then hosting, as you can see, it says no hosting. We will see in a minute what that means. And then of course available add-ons. So these are add-ons that you can add to your website. So you can just click on this this small question mark here to understand what that is. Now what I need to tell you here is these are free ones. The DNS management and email forwarding is free one, and ID protection is paid. Yeah, so we'll talk about what ID protection is later on. Then we have here the name servers. If you don't know what this is, don't touch it, just leave it as it is. Yeah, just leave this as it is. Now as you can see here, it says no hosting. What does that mean? Let's see that in the next lesson.